And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bullshit Game Awards. I'm your host, Acting Mailman. And today we've got 4 other contestants here for some type of game show. Contestant number 1, Chris Raygun. Give him a round of applause, everyone.
Oh, geez. Oh, thank you. Oh.
Sounds like we're all just jerking off into our mics.
Now tell us a little bit about yourself and why you deserve to win this award.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
All
Shut
right,
up,
contestant number 2.
I gotta tell you about
I like how
myself.
Chris is just
interview.
automatically right in the spirit of the podcast, just immediately.
Guys, I'm trying to maintain the acting here.
I mean,
You're not
yeah,
convincing me.
next contestant.
Contestant number 2, old Fav Dog. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you deserve to win the award.
Well, it's because I'm the underdog here. Really, I'm just on this podcast, just pity at this point. I'm the guy. I'm the Nick Foles of the podcast. Really, just going up against like 4 Tom Brady's. Anyway, let's go on to the next guy.
Yeah, contestant number 2, yeah. All right, contestant number 3, Hidden Xperia. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you deserve to win this award.
Oh, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I believe truly that I am the true underdog in this podcast, in this award ceremony. I believe that the dedication that I put into games reviews and my incredibly low skill at said games really should propel me towards the upper echelons of the award ceremony. So, thank
Everybody
you, ladies and gentlemen.
in the comments,
thank
let
you.
me
That's
know
good,
who
that's
you
good.
think the real underdog of the podcast is. Me at 14,000 subscribers, or Hidden Xperia pushing 100,000 subscribers.
Hey, it's
Everyone,
not the sub count on your
not
YouTube
about the
channel
numbers,
that
dude.
matters. It's the sub count in your heart.
Yeah.
Contestant number 4, Raycevick. Yay! Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you deserve to win this award.
Let's not. Let's just go to the first topic.
All right.
I really was hoping Ray was going to be like, well, guys,
Yes!
it's because I'm the underdog in this department.
All right, so the rules are very simple.
Wait,
there's
Actman, are you not a host/contestant in this?
Yeah,
not-
yeah, whatever. Who cares? We're just rolling with it.
It's a great show. It's gonna be reach syndication in no time.
I know. We'll get a sponsorship deal with NBC or some shit.
I think I smell an Emmy.
So, the rules of the awards show are very simple. There's not really any rules,
thought this was a game
but
show.
we're just whatever. We're past that. We're just going to have a bunch of categories, and we're all going to argue for which game or product or what have you we think deserves the award in question. So, the first topic. Dumbest name for a virtual currency award.
Submitted by...
Favyn.
Yeah, that's mine, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
True underdog story.
Contestant
that
number 1.
intro, though, like, we were about 80% of the way to just starting that over. I like the games that are just like, what's the name of our game? Fucking Halo credits. Rainbow Six credits.
Wait, is it really
Called
Rainbow
COD
Six
points.
It's called Rainbow Six credits. Yes.
What the hell?
So cheap.
It is actually really bad.
They gave that to the intern, and they were like, just come back the next day with something. He came in, he's like, oh shit, I fucking forgot. Damn.
I honestly don't know like what's worse, if they gave that to an intern or if they had like a full hour-long meeting with like 6 executives in the room.
Yeah, there were
discussing
like
this.
5 people paid a significant amount of money a year to call it Rainbow Six points.
Yeah, I think my vote would have to go for like Bright Dust.
Bright dust.
You see, Bright Dust is
It's
actually
not even that bad.
It's not that bad.
I think
it's not that bad.
it's
I mean,
okay.
at least they actually put some fucking
thought
effort
about
into
it.
it. At least they actually spent more than 10 seconds thinking about it.
Yes, they walked into their room and went, wow, it's really bright, and I got some dust on my desk. Oh, genius. I know exactly what to make out of
Well,
this.
at least it's not like at least it's bright dust and not like Destinicles or something.
Oh, that would have been great, though. Oh, man, I might buy some Destiny.
That would have been
The
great.
Destin Nichols would be great because it really makes it seem like there's no value to it whatsoever. It's like, oh yeah, I'll throw my money at some Dustin Nichols. It's not like I'm
Nichols.
throwing $100 at this shit.
I think I might have inadvertently came up with a better currency.
You did.
Bungie, hire this man.
Yes, please.
I think mine hands down, goes to NBA 2K18's currency that is literally just called virtual currency. Like, they didn't even fucking bother naming it. They just thought, you know what? What's the point? People are going to spend fucking thousands on this anyway. Just call it what it is. Virtual currency.
Forza just calls theirs tokens.
Forza
tokens.
Tokens.
Just like,
They really don't care anymore, do they?
No,
they
they don't
realize
care.
they don't need to name it something.
What's
There's
it
no reason
called
to
in
spend time
Assassin's
naming
Creed
it.
Origins? What's it called there? Do any of
No
us?
idea.
I don't.
Okay,
I don't
you're
know.
not gonna. You are not hearing the sounds of
Oh,
my keyboard
shit,
right now. No.
Oh, I know what it's called.
All right, next award.
In typical old schools on fashion.
All right.
Oh, it's called Helix Credit.
That's the one.
Oh, like the
That's-
DNA.
That's pretty gay.
Yes, the
Okay.
DNA that costs money.
So, next category. Most pathetic excuse by a game developer for why their game sucks.
Well, this seems pretty mean.
I'm pretty sure that there's only like one answer to this. Isn't it?
Is it
has
Star
to be
Wars
Battlefront
Battlefront 2? It's like, you guys wouldn't be okay with us making pink Darth Vader.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro,
that's
it's
a
the
good
canon.
one.
Well, here's something though. Like most of the dumb comments that I've seen this year have come from publishers.
Yeah, it's not really devs
If
that are
we're
doing
going
it,
to be fair there, yeah, because like there's occasional like saying like anybody is capable of saying dumb shit, but in a corporate world, in a world of publishing, that's essentially your job is to act like everything is completely fine.
And also to be very down with the kids. To be very down with the kids when you've really got no fucking idea what the kids are down with.
Oh no, like Infinite Warfare wasn't massively disliked when we revealed it. It was just everyone's really passionate about the franchise, and
God.
if it
It
wasn't
really
for the
shows the true
passion of
passion
the
for the
fans,
franchise.
The reason our
passion.
game sold far less than before is because of the passion of the fans. Right?
you really got to know the passion of the fans.
I was thinking about Destiny 2 and how Bungie was like, making content is hard, guys. It's hard making content. We got 750 employees, and I was like, that's a perfect
That wasn't
category.
like a public excuse though. That was like something that happened internally, right?
I
If I'm not
understand
mistaken.
making content
Yeah, it
is
did get
hard,
published
but
though, so I mean,
it's
I
kinda
guess
your
you could
fucking
class it
job
as a
also.
public thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've set a precedent as being one of the best companies in the industry to make said content, and then you turn around and say, "Yeah, I can't be bothered."
It's just like, oh, making content's really hard. That's why we were shady with our leveling system and we handed out stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we basically just lied to you because content's hard.
Making video games is hard. Like, what do you mean? Making content is hard. Of
Yeah.
course it is. That's why people pay money for it.
Guys, we
But
can
we
all
paid
agree
you because it's hard.
making videos is hard, and that is why we will now be placing 10 plus ads on every single one of our videos. Because
Yes,
it's
a
just so
mid-roll every
hard
30 seconds.
making content, us individuals. And, well, that's why our videos are going to suck.
Yeah.
Also, guys, buy some G Fuel with the link hiddenexperience.com.
Wait, are you actually
Xperia
sponsored?
finally got the
No,
sponsorship.
Don't go to that. Do not go to that link. I imagine it's something quite shady. Don't go to that link.
Speaking of all of that shenanigans, since I made that COD video that did really well, I've gotten like 800 emails from a few different people just like, hey, we want you to advertise COD points on your channel. We think we have a great method.
Serious?
Like literally, they want us. They
Like
want me
business
to.
email?
Yeah, like business emails trying to
Oh
get me to
my
advertise how
God.
to get COD points. I'm like, what?
What the hell?
No. And I've told him no like 8 times. He's like, all right, I'll call you back in a couple days. It's like, no, dude, please. Anyway, let's get
You know
to
what
the
that
next
guy is
category.
doing? He's just going to YouTube, typing in Call of Duty World War II, and scrolling down the list and just seeing which people pop up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
pretty
believe you
much.
didn't get a punch act, man, because your video did pretty bonkers.
Dude, I got a bunch of fucking just spam comments that are like, check out my great Call of Duty videos, or
Oh, yeah, of
stuff
course.
like, well, there's stuff that's like, hey, if you like Call of Duty, come check this out. And it's like, I was fucking trash talking Call of Duty.
Sub for sub act,
No, you
man.
can tell they don't even watch the video.
They don't. They
no,
don't.
like they'll come in and they'll be like, "Hey, great gameplay. Mind checking out mine, guys?" And it's like,
Yeah.
this gameplay was fucking horrible, and it was me.
It's entirely self promotion.
Yeah, 100. The COD community is still pretty big into that. You know, just like, can I
That's
get in
funny
your
'cause
sub
it
box?
always
bro?
used to be like that. Like what, 7 years ago? I still remember it being like that long ago.
Yeah.
All right, next
really hasn't
category.
changed.
Yeah, fuck you, hidden Xperia.
All right.
Just because I'm sponsored by G Fuel and you're not.
This one is a personal favorite of mine. All right, best duplicate.
Oh, it's got to be the pistol grips in Call of
Yeah.
Duty World War II. Because here's the thing: if you want to measure duplicates by frequency, Call of Duty, like I was getting those by my third loot drop.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was
You want to know a
pretty
funny
good.
fact? They recently added a new pistol to World War II that has tape over the pistol grip. You can't even see the pistol grip even locked. It covers like 90% of it.
The 90% that's already 100% covered by your hand.
By your hand, yeah.
My best duplicate award would go to Overwatch pre-patch because 3 duplicate sprays. There's nothing more satisfying than getting 3 duplicate sprays for shit that you won't ever use.
You mean you don't want a spray for Zenyatta that says hello?
Well, here's the thing that confuses me. So, like, you get, like, Ubisoft, both with Wildlands and the recent update coming up for Siege, one of the big things that they put, like, in their blogs, because they literally bold the text, it says, no duplicates in these loot boxes. I'm going, okay, so you know that this is a problem. You know that, like, this is bullshit. So why then do you have other loot crates that do have duplicates in them? If
Bastards.
you're acknowledging in bold text, maybe even italicized, I don't remember.
I can't believe they're
that
not.
this is stupid.
I can't believe they're not seizing the opportunity to be like upcharging for elite loot crates that don't have duplicates in them. Like,
Oh my
you can,
God.
you can spend an
God,
extra
don't-
50
God, yeah.
cents
Don't give 'em
to
ideas,
eliminate the
dude.
chance of
Don't
getting
give 'em
duplicates.
ideas.
That's definitely
Some EA exec just like freaking creamed his shorts.
that's
listening to
definitely going to happen.
this. God, guys.
Well, why don't we go to contestant categories? So, contestant number 1, Chris Raygun, do you have a award/category for us?
Yeah, I have. Let's see. I was thinking about this in the car on the way over because I take these things very seriously. So,
Thank you. I really
best-
appreciate it.
best game that was cool for like 10 seconds.
Can I start off with this one?
I
Yes,
think
go on.
my thing. I would say For Honor because that was like really big for
Okay.
like a half day, and then everyone forgot about it and no one played
half
it again.
day.
I would say No
I
Man's
was,
Sky for that one.
Okay.
Isn't that how it goes for? Because I haven't played No Man's Sky, but isn't that how it is? Where they keep saying the first 2 hours are great until you realize what the game actually is.
No, I don't think you understand. Like, No Man's Sky was hype for like 2 days, and then it was
No Man's
dead.
Sky was hype for like 3 years.
No, I just mean like
Yes.
when it actually came out. Like people were like, "Wow, this is incredible!" And you went to the No Man's Sky subreddit, and people were posting all the cool shit. Like, I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna buy the fucking game." And by the time it had finished downloading, that game was dead. Like, it was that bad.
it's not even. It's so
I
sad.
have an even worse answer for this. I don't know if it was ever cool, but like Lawbreakers had like 3,000 players for
Yeah.
about 20
Yeah.
seconds, and,
I
and
remember
now it's got
Favyn,
2 players.
Fav, you
That
kept
one-
asking us to play Lawbreakers.
No,
huh?
that was
Yeah,
Ray.
dude.
That was definitely
because-
Ray, and I was the
Well, yeah,
dumbass
because-
that listened to Ray and bought it, and now I can't even find it again. Me and Ray played one time.
Yeah, and hey, Favyn, was it not a lot of fun playing that
it was
one time?
fine. I wouldn't call it like this revolutionary experience. Like, I don't,
Yeah, because that's exactly what I said.
I saw this really sad picture on Reddit the other day where I showed the Steam charts profile for it.
Yeah.
With 2 players, and the caption was just, "Oh, the lead developer got his mum to finally play with him."
That's so sad.
It really
is.
is sad. I feel genuinely
That
sorry for
is.
them because a lot of people spent a lot
the
of
thing
time
that
on
sucks with in the case of Lawbreakers is that it's not even like a game that you could properly relaunch at this point because the name has just become synonymous with being dead.
yeah.
Yeah,
your
the game
is
has become
so
popular on
dead,
YouTube for being
It's a
ragged.
meme. That's how
Yeah.
dead it is.
It's not as much of a meme as Battleborn is for that same reason.
Yeah, that,
No, it
feel like-
is actually.
I don't know. I
close.
feel like when I think of Battleborn, it's way sadder.
But the thing is that Battleborn has more players. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
Battleborn is held like a. I know it's a very small, but it's still held like a.
yeah,
niche
it's got
community.
like
Has it
10
does it
people
really?
playing.
But Lawbreakers has like 2 people online
I think
now.
Lawbreakers usurped the meme of failure from Battleborn. It usurped
It
that
did.
somewhere
Oh no,
along the line.
I definitely think it failed worse. But I think more people know about
Yeah.
Battleborn's failure than they do about like I know some people who don't even know what Lawbreakers is.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
It's even
Battleborn
sadder.
tried to make a comeback and still it like failed twice.
Yeah.
Did they try like a hero mode in that as well? They tried to make like there was a hero mode, then they made like
What
a
they
battle
needed
royale
to
mode or
do is
something.
battle
everything.
royale. That's what they needed to do.
They did. Yeah, that's what Fortnite did.
Yeah, and you know
I
what?
mean, yeah,
It
Fortnite
worked.
did do that and it blew up.
It worked. People are like, wait, there's another half of Fortnite? Oh, fuck, dude, I didn't know.
My vote for this category. I know we're not doing this by any like year, or let's say like the last 10 years or whatever. But I'd say Diablo 3 was the game that was cool for like.
Really?
I disagree.
That game was cool for like 10 seconds, and then I hated it.
That game's
I
got a
addicted to
following.
that game for
though.
months.
That game's
Yeah,
got
Yeah.
no. When it first came out, dude, I played it for like 2 hours. I had like 50 health potions, and I was just throwing spiders at everything, and nothing was doing damage. I was like, wow, I can beat this with just clicking endlessly. Everything.
I would never
No
forget
strategy.
that Boogie video about
And
Error
this is coming
37.
from the guy who said, "Why was RuneScape so awesome?"
Hey, RuneScape has
Yeah.
strategy, you
Dude, try
goddamn
prayer
retard.
flicking. Try
Hold on,
prayer
let me
flicking.
flip to my prayer tab and enchantment. Okay, let me just
Try prayer
right
flicking
click,
in a PvP
right
zone.
click.
Check this normie out.
Yeah,
I don't-
but
I don't
Diablo
think-
3 doesn't have any of that depth. Anyways, we're not going down this rabbit hole. Contestant number 1, being our special guest of the evening or afternoon, depending on your time zone, would you like to submit another category or award?
No, that's the best I got, dude. That's the best. I'm spent.
He did not think he
I
was
am-
going to have to
Be,
come up with a second
be
one.
proud.
Yeah,
Logan. Be proud.
I was
That
told
one was
one.
good, though. Joel,
Pat
just
yourself on
one?
the back.
Has anyone been winning these categories, by the way?
We'll figure that out.
won.
I got a good one.
Yeah,
We'll figure that out when the time
Axeman will put a
comes.
score. We'll put a score chart at the bottom of the video.
Yeah.
I got a
Yeah,
good one.
you've just given him another priority now for editing. You just made it even harder to edit one of these.
The
Yes.
scores are going to be like Dragon Ball Z's power levels. Like, they're not making any sense. Like, this dude's got over a billion.
Okay, we have the next category.
Are you gonna have music accompanying this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That I was
I
thinking that was the
I
music.
really hope so.
Also,
Yeah.
also want to make a point that some people complain that we don't get our guest involved enough, and we just threw Chris Reagan a fucking bone right there, and he did
Yeah.
not take it.
Hey,
All right, we're
listen.
trying. We're trying. Okay.
We're trying. We are.
In fairness, it is difficult with like 5+ people to get everybody in.
It's
you know?
difficult with Hidden Xperia specifically.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Are you guys gonna
Aw,
let me
thanks,
get to the
man.
goddamn
Thanks,
award?
dude. I love you, man. Thank you.
Oh yeah, Ackman, go ahead.
ahead.
Do your
Best requel, rebooted sequel from Raycevick.
What the fuck?
So like a sequel that was like a reboot of the game. Like
Yeah.
I mean,
okay.
I would give examples, but I'd give away my answer unless you want me to go first.
Well, yeah,
Resident
go
Evil
first.
7. Got it.
Fun fact, I actually wasn't gonna give that.
Fuck.
I baited you all in Discord earlier. I mean,
Jesus.
Resident Evil 7 is a really good example of a requel, but also Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Now, it didn't like fully
Wait,
reboot the Metal Gear franchise.
Revengeance?
I got
Yeah,
a question.
Rising
Yes.
Revengeance.
Vengeance.
Yes, it's
Oh
an actual
my
word. Shut
God.
up.
Yeah, Metal Gear
Oh
Rising:
my
Revengeance.
God.
Dude, that game has the best boss fights in any video game ever.
That's more like a spin-off.
Yeah, that's
though.
a spin-off, dude.
Yeah, but it is also like I'm gonna call it like a pseudo reboot.
I like how you're acknowledging.
franchise.
I like how you're acknowledging the fact that you're gonna have to jump through all sorts of hoops to get this to fit with this category.
Yeah.
I have to because I want to talk about it. It's a dope
Just
game.
wanted to let you guys know this isn't really a great answer for this category.
Okay,
but
you know what?
it is
I'm gonna
mine.
give two answers then, brief ones.
Okay.
Rise and Revenge is dope because it retained a lot of MGS's sort of like traits, but also felt very new and fresh and very different.
Wasn't even close.
And
But
then
what's your other one?
Shh, it's okay, Fav. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Not Rising Revengeance. Resident
wanted to
Evil
do it
7
twice.
Biohazard. Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Because it brought the Resident Evil franchise back from the grave that was severely declining, even though Fav seems to think that Resident Evil 6 was the best Resident Evil.
Who the fuck said
Which
that?
is
No, that's Ray.
One of those. Oh, was that Ray? Was that
that's
Ray? Was one
Ray,
of you
no.
two?
Yes,
Either way,
that
one
I
of you
did
two
to
guys.
piss people off.
No, you have
And
an
it
objectively
worked.
incorrect opinion. But yeah, Resident Evil 7.
Because I haven't played the new Doom yet, my answer would be ukulele. I guess because that kind of fits. Hey, you bitches, you fags, and you gay boys, you let me have my fun with that game, all right? I waited
demonetized.
I waited 16 years for something
Whoa.
like that.
Doom definitely wins this. Doom was
Yeah,
so Doom was so good.
absolutely.
Doom was a game that like I don't think anybody was expecting that to be good, especially after the beta that was like really kind of like lackluster. And
I wasn't even expecting anything from the E3 demo. Like, the E3 demo looked really slow, lots of dubstep, lots of really slow animations on, like, the glory kills and stuff. That game really surprised me.
That game came out of no. So good.
Would Super Mario Odyssey count for this category?
Not really, because it's really just it's more of a sequel to. I don't think it redoes anything more than Sunshine does.
I mean, it's but Sunshine is like over 10 years old. So that's kind of a reboot of the adventure format in a way. You can see it.
I don't know. With Mario, it's weird because like the 3D Marios never had a really consistent theme other than just being three-dimensional, you know?
And grabbing
like,
objects, but...
Yeah, like the main ones, like the 64... Sunshine, Galaxy, and then Odyssey. They're really just about running around as 3D Mario.
You could even say like Galaxy is more in a separate category, and like 64, Sunshine, Odyssey are almost like their own little grouping. They have a trait that kind of is like a through line throughout them. Anyway, maybe the next.
I have a question about Resident Evil 7. Is
Okay, go for
Biohazard its actual subtitle?
I think
Yes.
so, yeah. It's got a weird name.
So
like
let me get this
Resident-
straight. What they did for a subtitle was literally just grab the Japanese name of the series.
No. You're mistaken, because in Europe and Japan it's called Biohazard 7 Resident Evil.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, on Steam,
Yes.
it has two names.
So they are
it's like
bringing the two
Biohazard
together.
7 Resident Evil / Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
Wait, is it Biohazard in Europe?
Hang on.
Now he's questioning himself.
I'm pretty sure in Europe it's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and then in everywhere else it's Biohazard 7 Resident Evil.
No,
Is that
in
not
the
just
Americas
kind of dumb?
it's Resident Evil.
All right, next award. We can argue about the name later for you fag boys that care so much about it.
Why?
Act Man, play Doom. That's the thing to take away from this. Is just play the fucking game
definitely.
already.
Hey,
Yep.
I am going to play KOTOR for the 6th time, okay? And I'm not going to play Doom, all right? Nah, I
You're
won't.
missing out, dude.
Okay, it's in Europe it's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard / Biohazard 7
Okay, we're
Resident
done.
Evil.
We're done with that.
All right, next topic.
All right. This topic comes from the underdog, and it is most ridiculous breasts in a game not about breasts.
Damn it!
I
From
can totally
Favyn.
see this at the
Hidden
2018
Xperia,
Game
why would
Awards.
you come up with that category? Inappropriate.
I have
dude,
I have in
I'm
my
just-
document
I
here
don't know.
parentheses Favyn.
Nope.
You came up with
Come up with
this.
that
I wrote it down.
What MMO came out this year? I just
Probably a
assume.
shitty one.
Like that's a safe bet.
Yeah. I mean I can
it
name a
doesn't
few
it doesn't
MMOs
have
that
to
have
be
got
from this year.
I'm obviously like the new Xenoblade.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I'm always just gonna go with Gwendolyn from Dark Souls. Just like, where did this come from?
Oh god.
Where did this come from?
Hey, at least she's a god.
What? This is like the
S.
most darkest, depressing, brutal video game ever made. Then I start seeing all these notes, right? Like epic chest ahead, and I'm thinking there's gonna be some awesome loot. I was not expecting what I saw.
Massive cranium-sized melons.
That's such a great warning. Great epic chest ad.
Well, I my vote goes for Ivy in the Soul Calibur series, whose boobs get progressively bigger with every sequel until they just take up like half the screen when you play as her. Like your
Anyway.
half of the screen is literally just cleavage, and the other person is just like a normal character that moves, like a normal fighting game. That's probably what they're gonna do for the next Soul Calibur.
Yeah. Have you guys seen that new indie game that's kind of making the rounds on the what's it called, like Sexy Serial Killer or something?
Oh yeah. No, that's definitely.
That was kind of the inspiration for that. Like I had just watched a couple videos of that, and I'm just like, that is the most absurd thing I've ever seen in a video
I
game.
assume you probably saw Critical's video on it.
Yeah, I saw Critical. I saw Jim Sterling also talk about it.
That is a great category, by the way.
It's 2018. Come on.
Yeah, it's the
I
current year.
gotta give my it's the current year. I gotta give my gamers an MMO that I've barely played. Like I played like an hour of it, called Terra. I mean, it's your typical Korean MMO made by the same guys that
I
made
played
PUBG.
that a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see any like the high level female armor?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's typical of like a Korean MMO and whatever, but it literally gets to the point where some of the high level gear for the female characters is literally like a small thin piece of stone. And that's it. Like,
I actually had the picture.
breasts
I've got the
act as-
picture here because me and a friend were talking about this a couple days ago
Oh, why were you talking about it?
because we were talking about
Yeah,
ridiculous.
there it
female
is. That's the one.
characters.
Yeah,
that's the one.
That's about
Oh,
it.
God.
Yeah,
like-
but what about Near Automata, where you can literally explode your clothes off?
That's a feature.
Yeah,
it's a
that,
feature.
that was something that the developer spent countless hours thinking
That
over.
game, by the way, is super good.
Yeah, every like half
Still
my
need to play
comment section on my Hellblade video was play Near, and I'll get to it
It's-
at some point.
It's really good.
I gotta respect the developer, because naturally you make a game that's provocative like that, and they ask him, and they're like, why did you do that? And his answer was, well, I like pretty girls. I was like, okay.
What an insane idea.
This is a quick side note, but do you guys ever look at like armor like this and just think, wow, that must be the most uncomfortable thing to wear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks.
I love how all the armor is in like the wrong place as well on that Terra girl. It's like there's no armor around the body. It's just all on the legs and the hands.
Let's just not protect the internal organs in any capacity.
You don't need those.
No, but
know,
you
that's
see, you
why
see
I
that
like
you see
the-
that one line of steel though. That's what's going to stop anything.
I'll have to put that picture up when I'm editing
That's why I
this
much
because
prefer
it's
the.
and then
new
you'll get
lore
demonetized.
Yeah, they don't be demonetized.
nah.
Pick your poison.
Oh
Nah.
my god.
Just like when you're going through editing, put up the picture of the sexy serial killer so people can know because
See,
it's
this
absurd.
is.
I don't want to Google that.
things-
I could
things
get
like
put
this.
on a list.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, actually,
you're gonna put it on some like watch list or some shit for Googling
Just to
that.
go
type
incognito
in
tab.
sexy serial killer Steam game, and that should narrow it down.
Yeah, but what if Steam
But don't
gave
put
you something else in the
Steamy.
deep web?
Don't put Steamy game. Don't do that.
Steamy.
What if
All right,
Steam
next,
game means something
next
else in the deep web?
category. This
ahead.
one comes from your boy, acting mailman. Longest drought in a series that desperately needs a sequel.
Oh.
I'm gonna get roasted in the comments for this.
Or a good sequel. So this could be a
Okay.
series that has a bunch of sequels, but they turned out pretty poopy.
Was that just like Halo bait right there? Just like so.
No, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
There's,
say. That's what I was gonna say.
there's millions of series like that.
I'd say that there has.
Okay.
I'd say there hasn't been like a proper Call of Duty game in a really long time.
Not since fucking. I mean, even people debate like Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah.
Like I thought Modern Warfare 2. Well, Black Ops 1, I think most people agree was still pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
like
my favorite.
since then, it's kind of been all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
No Call of Duty's had that like OG COD feeling since, for me at least, since World at War, really. I mean, I love Black Ops 1 and I liked Modern Warfare 2, but no Call of Duty's had that like COD 4 World at War feeling since those two games. I don't know what the feeling is. I can't like really describe it, but
Yeah.
those two games I could lose. Like,
I
days and
honestly,
days.
I honestly don't. I don't know. I never understood why people liked Black Ops. To be completely honest, I just.
Well, Black Ops 1 was
I
good.
think
Black
I
Ops
think
1.
what probably appealed to people is just the customization aspect. I think that's what they go for is in
Yeah.
multiplayer was
Yeah.
the balancing and the customization there. Because after that point, it kind of just got a little too bloated after that. Like Infinite Warfare, the amount of pointless shit that you customize. Like I look at
Oh,
the kill
yeah.
cam and there's like 8 different categories of things on the screen to tell me about.
And then with World War II, they went in the complete opposite direction and just oversimplified.
Yeah.
it to the point where like custom class.
You know
it's
what I
just- it's boring
think it
now.
is?
Like,
What I think it is, just quickly, is like the older COD games, they didn't try so hard, in
got
terms
so
of
far.
like their marketing and just kind of like how they advertise things, if that makes any sense. It feels like
Modern Warfare 2 tried pretty hard.
It did.
yeah, but it still turned out good. It was almost because it was like cocky in what it was doing, and it like knew it like knew it was fun and unbalanced and crazy. But everything since that,
I feel like it was more of a sign of the times because I feel like back then games were more designed for like, oh hey, you play this game because you enjoy it, not necessarily because you unlock things to customize your dude with.
Yeah.
yeah,
Especially in FPSs at the time, It was more about
Yeah.
like, oh, this just plays well.
Well, also
Now it's
like,
all
even
about
that-
unlocking loot boxes.
It's
and
all
I've
about-
gotta get all
Yeah.
300 armor sets in Halo 5. I'll be so happy when I get those.
249, I think you'll find, Mr. Axeman.
Mr. Actman.
Thinking about, because I'm working on Orange Box right now, and the thing that I notice is when you look at when TF2 came out, is that at that time, most games were also pretty kind of unified in all the ways you could play. Like these days, MOBAs and games like Overwatch are really popular, but back then, all Spartans in Halo 3 were the same. Most
Yeah.
classes in Battlefield were pretty similar in the guns that they had and the movement that they had. There
That is
wasn't
a pretty good point.
Where these days, it's more about I'm going to pick this one character that is good at this specific thing, be it Reinhardt.
And isn't it weird
or
that-
whatever.
Individuality.
Isn't it weird that, I mean, I know this is probably nostalgia, but a lot of us deem the games back in the day where everything was more similar as being more fun and having more replayability compared to the games now that technically have like more diversity in them and more like, not diversity, but more like diverse play styles. It's weird. I think it's weird how everyone deems those older games as having more replayability and being more fun.
Well, you can look at
I'm
it
not
this way,
sure.
where in Overwatch, there's only one real way of playing Reinhardt. If you're not playing him as a proper defense to protect your teammates, you're not playing the character correctly.
Not necessarily.
Whereas
Not
with
necessarily. You can be
somebody
pretty
like say,
aggressive with him.
with somebody like say the soldier in Team Fortress 2 is a lot more varied in a playstyle, even in just that one class.
Yeah.
I mean, Overwatch has had that though. Can you remember what's it called, Battle Class Anna that everyone used to do before they patched Anna, where you could like one shot people with the nade,
Right.
the nade and trank.
But
combo.
the thing
Like,
is they
it was there.
patch
Yeah.
they always end up patching Anna is the thing.
Yeah.
Because that was not the intent with that character. They wanted her to be this one thing, because if she isn't, then it's going to screw up the entire meta of that game.
Yeah.
All right, next category.
Was
Now,
it only
Chris?
was it only Call of Duty with that one?
I was gonna say Dead Space.
Oh yeah, Dead Space, definitely.
I was gonna say
Dragon Age, too.
Dragon Age, yeah. I'm gonna say something
Fucking-
really obscure. Not super obscure. But I feel like Destroy All Humans deserves another shot.
Oh,
yeah, that's
dude.
a good one.
Yeah,
Yes.
it only got a small sequel, yeah. But I mean, there hasn't been a Mercenaries game in ages either.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a
I know.
Stubbs the Zombie game in a while either.
There hasn't been Siphon Filter. There
Made with
hasn't
the
been
Halo
F-
engine.
There hasn't been F
know,
Zero.
right?
There's been a
I still
lot.
find that so weird.
Simpsons Hit and Run.
There's
Was there
a
ever
lot
another
of-
game to that?
that was
Bring
so
that
good.
game back.
No, there's a lot of really old franchises around that time, like the 6 console generation, that have just not resurfaced at all.
Yeah.
Time Splitters,
Yeah,
Mechasalt.
Time Splitters, goddamn.
Titanfall is almost like a spiritual successor to Mechasalt. I mean, not really spiritual successor, but more like the concept of just being in a big ass robot with
Yeah.
different kind of classes.
It shares some
I think
some line
mech
of DNA.
games. I mean, isn't there a mech? There's going to be a new Mech Warrior game, like an actual like RPG.
One of the
one soon.
wasn't that one of the leaks in that recent leak that included
That'd be
like
awesome.
Halo or something.
All right, next category. This will
okay.
be,
Okay.
I think, the last one before we move on to viewer categories. And I kind of just came up with this one on the fly, talking about Mechasalt. All right, best console or console with the best exclusive selection.
Switch.
This
I
could
think
be any
it's-
console.
Oh, any console? Damn,
360.
that's hard.
Stupid fucking phone.
I did like the 360s exclusives a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 360.
The 360 originally had Mass Effect and BioShock as exclusives.
Yeah, Mass
Original,
Effect,
yeah.
BioShock,
Which is nuts.
Gears, Halo.
Halo.
It was just slated.
Was the Turok reboot an exclusive? I think it was.
I don't know, but I know that a lot of like
Doesn't
Xbox
matter
Live
because
Arcade,
it wasn't good.
The Turok reboot
was
was
alright.
multi-platform.
and there were a bunch of like Xbox
really?
Live Arcade stuff that was exclusive at the time.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
N+.
right.
N+ was the bomb.
N Plus
How about
was
th-
pretty great.
How about this, though, boys? The OG Xbox.
No.
I
No.
also
Whoa, whoa. Hear me out.
Yeah.
KOTOR 1. Halo Combat Evolved.
KOTOR
Jade
was also
Empire.
on PC.
Yeah, it was on
Nope,
PC.
it was originally Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, for like a couple months, and then it came out on
An
PC.
exclusive.
Yeah. I mean, well, the thing, we're talking consoles. I mean, so,
Okay, but you got to remember, PS2 was out in that same time.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it didn't have KOTOR. 'Cause it was
I
gay.
PS2, you had Ico, you had
Because it
God
was
of War,
gay.
you had Shadow of the Colossus, you had Metal Gear Solid 3, but you
Yeah,
had
I'd say
Jack,
PS2
like
might win. It had
Brute
Jack,
Force,
Ratchet and Clank.
Bloodwake,
Okami, Gran Turismo, like yeah, you
Halo
had
2, Mech Assault.
for me, I don't know. For me, it was the PlayStation, the original PlayStation. I love
Yeah,
the
but
original
Xbox
PlayStation.
had
to death.
Halo CE, Halo 2, Halo 2 map pack.
Nah, dude, there's way more than just that.
Okay, go on.
You fag.
Go.
Bro, what's
Munch's Odyssey.
what's up with all the
Munch's Odyssey was terrible.
What?
Wait, hold on. Wait. Did you just honestly suggest Munch's Odyssey?
excuse me.
Okay, to be fair, it's been like 15 years since I played it, but I remember it being super unique.
It was
It was a fun game.
It was
It was a fun, odd game.
fine. It was fine, but it was not something that you would tout
I think Morrowind was an exclusive
Yeah.
too,
for a
at
little
least
bit.
for
Yeah.
consoles.
Be cool if they made like.
Well, you
the
know what? I was
Orange
gonna
Box
say.
2
I was gonna say, even though I didn't use my GameCube a whole bunch back in the day, it did have some pretty killer
Yeah,
exclusives.
GameCube.
Wasn't Resident
really
Evil
did.
4 a timed exclusive?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And that's like
Yeah.
the greatest game ever made. So I mean, does
So
GameCube
is
win by
KOTOR
default?
1.
So is Halo Combat Evolved?
Oh, yeah. How about that, Fav?
Would you look at that?
Yeah, KOTOR and Halo, totally. Yeah, complete by far the best.
I mean, they are.
They actually are, though. I mean, your sarcasm is unwarranted.
Not
my
as good as
friendly
not as good
Canadian.
as Crash Team Racing and Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver.
Exactly.
Not as good as Burger King Sneaking. You ever play that one?
What?
That was an
Burger
actual
King
game.
Kart
I
Race.
love
It's not as good as Mario Kart Double Dash.
That is
Wait, they made a
Ooh.
Burger King video game.
Yeah,
They
no,
made an
wait.
actual
Do you
Burger
not
King
remember
video
this?
game.
Do you not remember this when Burger King?
No.
Burger King
I don't think
made.
this is in the UK.
Burger King made a bunch of video games for the Xbox 360, like a bunch of them, for
bet-
some
yeah,
reason.
I had to play these.
That
I've
was back
actually
in the
got-
days of like Doritos Crash Course and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You'd
Oh,
straight
bro,
up-
that game was
You would
so
straight
good.
up like go to people's job sites and like sneak up on them and then scare them, but then give them a cheeseburger. Like that was the game.
What?
That
I'm
was
not
the
even,
game.
I'm not
Point
even
in that.
kidding. When I was in Toronto a couple weeks ago, I went to a used game store and I saw a copy of Big Bumpin' on the shelf. Like, I was really tempted to pick it up, especially because I have someone on my Discord server who just keeps talking about Sneak King and won't shut the fuck up about
I love
it.
I love the way that game forces you to say its name.
Sneaking.
Sneak King.
All right, we're going to move on to viewer awards now. So this one comes from Mike Stubby. Dumbest new trend in gaming besides microtransactions.
Oh, I've got an idea. Invisible barriers.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Obtrusive invisible barriers that.
Now wait,
like,
wait.
Invisible
so
barriers to me.
Are you talking about invisible walls that like prevent you from moving? Or are you talking about the get back to the battlefield?
I'm talking about all of them. The annoying like hard walls. The patronizing.
going,
get back to the
soldier?
battlefield, soldier. Yeah, those annoying ones.
I mean, they've all. I think it's just like map design's worse and it's lazier, and so you run into them more often. To me,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
more about that.
I don't know,
Yeah.
because you look at games like Halo 2 and even Combat Evolved to a degree, and like Halo 2 just doesn't have invisible barriers. They just aren't there. At least in the campaign, there's like none.
Well, they're not. They're definitely not placed in places that are, they're reasonably placed. I would say
Yeah.
in the original Halos for the most
They're the
part.
kind of thing that if you're just like playing the game normally and you accidentally go in an area you're not supposed to go, you're not going to go in the wrong way and be like, whoa, where the fuck am I supposed
Yeah.
to go? But if you do want to break the game doesn't stop you from doing so.
I
Yeah,
think one of the
definitely.
stupidest fucking things is when I was playing Halo 4 and I was doing my review, like on the first level, like the big sphere planet opens up, Requiem, and
Requiem,
and you're out in space, right? And if you try to walk up to this like debris and check it out, there's a fucking kill timer there. There's a fucking kill timer in the single player. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, you want to explore this great looking area? We'll suck a fat chode.
Has anyone else
I
played?
don't think any game did it as bad as Infinite Warfare though. Like
Well,
in
it
Fab's
wouldn't
video,
be
he
a-
showed that like.
Oh man, you beat me to it. I was gonna say it wouldn't be an All Schools On podcast without a shameless plug from me.
Oh,
Well, there was that thing that
Dude,
you
that
showed on that
video-
multiplayer map with the baseball map, where like there's a very clear opening of a fence to get into a baseball
And it
field.
leads into a
But
kill.
you
3
walk into
seconds.
it, and there's like a 2-second kill
Usain
barrier.
Bolt couldn't make it back in time. 3 fucking seconds.
Has anyone else played Prey, the new one?
Yep, I actually
Yeah.
looking
A
at the
little
box
bit.
right here.
Because one of the best things about that game is I never encountered a kill barrier. Like,
Yeah,
none.
I heard a lot of good things about that specifically. Like, it's very like free.
It's very liberating in terms of like it's even you can even if you want to basically you're trying to help this space station, but you can even at the halfway point of the game, you do have a capsule where you could just leave and just leave everyone else to die, and the game won't stop you from doing that if you can get up there.
That's pretty cool.
Right.
I wasn't a big
Next
fan
category.
of anyway, go ahead, yeah.
All right, so this one comes from Dark Noobs with a Z. All right, and this is the Horse Armor Award. In other words, most useless DLC.
Oh.
The microtransactions in Deus Ex.
Curse of Osiris.
Oh,
Yeah, Curse of Osiris.
Oh.
That's pretty
I'm
good.
going to say any DLC that gives you like a week preview access to DLC that's going to be available to everyone else.
But Favyn, Rainbow Six Season Pass, 7 days early access to new operators.
$30. Wow.
Wow.
He also has another category, the Star Wars Connect Award. In other words, why was this game made category.
Oh man.
I've got to go with the Logan Paul game on Xbox Live Arcade that got taken down by Microsoft recently.
Wait, there was what?
Have you not heard about this? Oh, dude, there was a game that popped up on like the green light for Xbox Live Arcade very briefly, like last week, where the whole objective of the game is that you're a vlogger who's dressed like Logan Paul with that Martian hat on from Toy Story, like Logan Paul was, and you're walking through a forest with a camera, and you have to find as many dead bodies as possible to get more views, and the views count as points. And that is literally the game.
That's
That is
amazing.
literally the game. That's it.
Is it like a 2D platformer? Is it a
No,
3D?
no, it's 3D. It's like, yeah, you walk through like this misty forest. I mean, the graphics are garbage. Don't let me hype the graphics up here. They're garbage. But like, you walk through a forest and you just see like a guy in T-pose just stood there next to a tree, and it's like, oh, that's a body. Time
They
to
should
get some
have
views.
implemented like the Dead Rising camera system on it, just like erotic. Yes,
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
my
that
brain
was
just goes,
horrible.
"Nah."
that'd have been like taking it to the next level. Horrible.
That's so good. I hope that's on Steam. I hope that gets on Steam at some point. I want to play that.
It's gonna get traction at some point somehow.
Yeah, it will do. I mean, I know I've seen a few people make videos about it, and they've all been fucking joke. But Microsoft took it down, and I'm guessing it's not going to be coming back anytime soon.
That's so sad. Rip.
And the same company that made it, Sean from Forge Drugs made a good video about it. The same guy that made it also made a game called Thieves of Sea. This is like the most obvious Sea of Thieves shit
God.
copy.
He's just trying to become like the Asylum Films of video games.
All right, next category. This category is actually like not a joke or a meme. It's actually not a bad one. It comes from Kieran Shields. Most overhyped game of 2017.
Destiny 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or World War II. Destiny
Yeah.
2 or World War II.
I mean,
say
Call of
World War
Duty's
II.
cheating. It's just like every year Call of Duty's overhyped and then it's bad. So
I'd
I
say
don't really-
Destiny
I mean,
2 because
Infinite
it was the
Warfare
hype that I personally didn't understand.
I don't. Well, I'm making a video about it, so I'll save my words.
Just because it was just like I remember looking at Destiny 2 footage. Now normally like I could tell you which FIFA games are different based on HUD. But looking at Destiny 2 multiplayer footage, I had to be told by multiple people, no, that is Destiny 2. And,
Yeah,
like,
I felt the same way when I saw it. I was like, is this a sequel?
Yeah.
You
I mean,
guys
I'm
took
I'm
3
a
years
fan of.
to make this shit. Eh?
I don't know, because like the difference.
Yeah.
Like
the
Modern
difference
Warfare 3,
between. Oh, sorry.
you know, I was gonna say
No,
like
you
Modern
go.
Warfare 3 gave me like a different M16 model at least.
Yeah.
You go, Chris.
It's just like, because, I don't know, I understand that we're like well past this point in graphics where like we're going to see massive improvements between titles, but like I think back to like Combat Evolved to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to Reach. You know, I could tell that those were different games on HUD alone, on Look alone, and even for like the majority of sequels now, I can tell. But with Destiny 2, I was genuinely like, is this real? Like, is this a real
Yeah.
sequel that I'm looking at?
It was
or
a
is this-
repurposed
new?
Destiny.
I mean,
1
I'm
expansion.
a big fan of sequels that don't change anything that doesn't need to be changed.
But
good God, like change something.
Yeah, like,
Just
because
at
otherwise,
least change something.
yeah, because otherwise, like, because there were times when I was playing Destiny 2, where I'm feeling like this doesn't feel like a new game at all.
It really doesn't.
I'd say COD World War II simply because it had more hype than the other COD games because of the whole, going back to its roots.
Boots on the
but-
ground, boots on the
Yeah.
ground, boots on the
Boots
ground.
on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Well, I mean,
Looking like a fool with your boots
actually,
on the ground.
I would say probably just to not cheat and say COD. I would say ukulele.
What?
Actually, yeah.
Ukulele
Fight.
was probably like one of the oh my god, we're going back to the rare days, and it just turned out to be like just fine.
It was okay.
Yeah, A Hat in Time is way
liked
better.
it.
That's the
Well,
thing
I'll have
too.
to
Yeah,
check
A
that
Hat in
out.
Time came out like only just a couple months after it.
Yeah.
Actman's like, A Hat in Time, what is this you say?
No, I've heard of it, you bastard.
All right, I actually have a good one, and
Oh?
because it leads right into this.
But
And
we're on
I wanted to
viewer
say this. I know, but
submissions.
it leads into this. Most
Okay.
disappointing game of 2018.
What to be
We're
released?
barely into that.
I know, but that's the thing. It's like, what do you think is going to disappoint people this year?
Fuck, I don't even know of like any upcoming releases.
I think it's gonna be Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
Ooh, that
I mean,
is pretty
no, I
bold.
agree because there's so much hype around it. It's bound like it's sort of like Half-Life 3, where like with Half-Life 3, I feel like the reason they're not making it is because they could never live up to the hype. Like they could never live up to people's expectations. I feel like the same thing is kind of true for Red Dead Redemption.
I don't
whatever it's
know.
called.
I think Red Dead Redemption has a reasonable expectation. People are excited about it, but it's not like I don't know.
It's
I don't
not,
know.
like,
I've
off
seen
the
people getting
charts.
pretty like
I mean,
overhyped for it.
I felt that way about GTA 5, and that game just did phenomenal, right? I'm like, there's no
Yeah.
way they're going to top GTA 4. Well, it's like GTA 5 is one of the most popular games ever made.
No.
Yeah, I'm really worried about the Spider-Man game by Insomniac because we've
Yeah,
seen
same.
very little of it, and it's like from what we've seen, it just seems to be a lot of quick times. And a lot of people are really excited about it because it's just like, hey, it looks like Spider-Man 2 again. But I'm like thinking like, oh man, I really hope it's good, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
I'm always like kind of like Insomniac in general. Like I was really disappointed with Sunset Overdrive as well. And it's like there's something missing. I feel like with Insomniac's most recent games compared to like the old Ratchet and Clanks, for instance.
I don't know. I enjoyed Sunset Overdrive, but
Next category.
Wait.
So
I didn't even get to give my damn answer, bro.
we'll
I think it's going to be God of War.
yeah, I could see that happening too.
I
I
could
saw
see
that on the
that, yeah.
cover of Game Informer, and I was like, where's his chainswords? And then I opened it up, and it was like, gamers might be upset about the lack of Kratos' chainswords. And I was
Kratos.
Kratos. Hey, people say things differently, okay?
Kratos
okay?
and T.
Yeah, British people say weird things, and Americans say good things. Yeah.
It's our language, bro. We made it.
Okay, so we'll get like two more. So this one's pretty good.
Actually, to interrupt you, I got one answer. If it comes out, Shenmue 3.
Oh yeah.
Don't know what that is.
That's good.
I don't know what that is.
And Ackman's subscriber count just instantly evaporated suddenly for seemingly no reason.
Well, who knows what that is?
I don't.
I
do.
I know
It just made an entire, PlayStation press conference cream their fucking pants.
Wasn't
over seeing
Shenmue 1
name.
the most expensive game ever made at the time?
it was.
Yeah, and now Shenmue 3 is being fucking crowdfunded. It's like something's not adding up.
It's being
Something's
crowdfunded.
not-
What's happening? How is Shenmue 1 the most expensive game ever made, and Shenmue 3 they're thinking is going to be on that level as a crowdfunded game?
I think
Alright,
that kind of
next
just
topic.
speaks to how dumb
Next
the industry has
topic.
gotten in terms of cost.
Okay, so this comes from the Blue Panda, and he has the best game that was called a Dark Souls ripoff by people in 2017.
Ooh, Crash Bandicoot, baby.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
Crash Bandicoot.
Whoa, Cuphead, boy. Cuphead.
Yeah, I was gonna say Cuphead.
Cuphead's pretty good too.
Cuphead wasn't that the beginning of the "it's like Dark Souls" meme?
No.
wasn't
No,
Cuphead
I
the
think it-
beginning
I
of
That
think
was
that's when
Crash.
it-
Crash
That
started
was when it
it.
really took off.
really?
I think
And then-
with Cuphead.
Yeah,
Yes.
Crash started it, and then Cuphead just
The
cemented
fact
it.
that they were comparing Crash, which is like a collection of old games from like 15 years ago, and they're saying, you know what? Takes a lot of inspiration from Dark Souls. It's like they're fucking remakes, dude. It's like, what are you doing?
What do you?
How are you journalists?
It's such a baffling. That was such a baffling saga to live through. Just like,
was.
everyone. How do you? How are you having this much trouble?
I don't know.
with Crash Bandicoot.
I've actually seen that kind of behavior more in comment sections than even from the journalists themselves, though. Like every game that comes out now with like a remotely like decent melee combat system, yeah, it's like Dark Souls.
Right, but
Yeah.
that's true. But that's also like just the rule of numbers. It's like there's only so many
Yeah.
journalists writing articles, and there's going to be way more people
Yeah.
commenting on them.
Yeah.
So of course,
Yeah.
but like it's it's
the
such a
rule
joke.
of numbers.
Yeah.
All right. So the final category, someone wrote it, but I'm going to rephrase it a bit. Comes from Panny Hedgehog. So he says, what?
Okay.
It's a good name.
Panny
Nothing.
Hedgehog.
Nothing. Go on.
Or Panini Hedgehog.
Okay. Almost like what
Panini
the fuck you-
hedgehog.
Those
I
are
don't know
vastly
what
different
Panny
things.
is. I missed
Pan-
the first I.
A panini.
It's
Did you say panini?
yes,
Panty
Panini Hedgehog.
Hedgehog.
Yes,
Oh
I
my
want.
God.
Yes, I want a panny ham sandwich, please.
But I can see the Panny Hedgehog thing making sense in other. Go ahead, dude.
Okay, so I'm going to rephrase this, but the way he put it was the What If I Told You I Didn't Tell You the Full Story award. But I'll just change this a little bit to Most Cliche or Boring Story award.
Oh, Destiny 2. I like the
Destiny
story,
2?
but it was so cliche. I knew exactly what was going to happen. It was so apart from the like whole darkness thing in the cutscene in the credits. It was so obvious that Gore was going to die. I mean, come on, did anyone really think that we weren't going to defeat him? I know he's still around, but did anyone really think we weren't going to defeat him? Honestly,
I haven't finished Destiny 2, so I can't fully comment on it, but I'd probably give it
I
to
got a
Spoilers.
little bit of a dark horse one because apparently it goes far against the grain of most journalists because this was nominated for best narrative. I thought Horizon Zero Dawn was like a really cliche narrative.
You
Like
thought so? Really?
Yeah,
I
like-
didn't beat it, but when I was playing through, I thought it was pretty
it has
intriguing.
a
just like the universe.
phenomenal world. It's got a great
Yeah.
universe, but the story itself, like you're going through all these caves and you're uncovering things, and lo and behold, humans got too big for their britches and they caused the robot apocalypse. I couldn't believe it.
I've
Like,
never heard that in any sci-fi story I've
and
ever
so
seen in my
it's like
life.
I'm listening. I'm like, it's like it was humanity, right? Humanity a long time ago caused all this because you're walking through and it's like there's all these old human buildings, and everyone in the game talks about it like, oh, it's a relic. To me, I felt like there were parts of the story that were really interesting, but they could have just ignored all that backstory with like how humans made robots and they eventually took over. Because like to me, I felt like you could have deduced that from everything already.
I feel like I'm missing something with Horizon because I played a little bit of it, and I don't have any desire to keep playing it at all. Is it like, I don't know? Am I insane? Am I the only
Yes.
person who feels like it's just kind of fine?
I really
mean,
liked
it
it.
just might not be your thing. I thought fighting those robot dinosaurs and like going for the weak points, I thought that was a great like game mechanic, and I felt like the world and universe was really interesting. I didn't beat it, so I can't like
I
fully
felt like there was-
make a statement, but
Felt like there was good content. The world, obviously, it's a gorgeous game. Good gameplay, I thought. I really enjoyed the game. I just thought these cliche story beats that they dragged out for like 4 hours, like, how did all of this happen? And then it was
Yeah.
like, oh, it's this.
Oh.
It's like,
Yeah.
I felt like we already knew that, and it was dragging it along. And
as somebody who hasn't even played the game, like that story sounds cool. Like it does sound pretty cool. Like, oh, this is dinosaur things, and oh, it was humanity that did all this. But like, again, yeah, it does sound really cliche and like
No,
the
now,
most obvious answer to the entire thing.
there are other parts of the story that I think are interesting. It's like they take that concept and they do interesting things with it, but they spent too much on that revelation that humanity was its own downfall.
right.
I think that's
Like,
a
that's
recent
what I'm
trend.
saying.
Like Mirror's Edge Catalyst from a couple years ago, like did that exact same thing, where it treats really obvious things like they're a mega big twist that you're not going to see coming. Whereas it'd be much better off if it just showed you the narrative implications and just allowed you to explore them from there.
I'd say
That game-
COD
that game
World
was
War
not great
II
anyway.
was the most cliche story.
I'd agree.
because
It was.
It's like every single war
What are
cliche.
you talking about? Call of Duty Saving Private Ryan?
Hey, the game's about to end. Oh, I know. Let's go back to that cutscene we did like a fucking hour in and give you this new piece of information, but then act like you knew it all along.
Although one thing I will
That
say
was
about
a
the
kind of
campaign
cool
is that
twist. I did like that.
That
but,
was
you know.
so dumb.
it was. Yeah, I thought it was pretty dumb.
I
didn't really
like the
do anything.
cinematography and just like I guess the feeling and tone of it, if that makes sense. Like maybe the execution wasn't as good as it could have been, but I thought just the idea of it.
You got to say that the last mission, the concentration camp one, that was pretty good. That was.
But they did
I didn't see that
nothing with
coming.
it.
It's like, oh my god, there's
It was-
two
I-
dead
for me,
bodies.
they're like-
wow,
that felt like-
how horrible.
But for me, that didn't feel like a mission that you had to do anything. It was
Yeah.
more like an experience. It was more like you've been fighting like this super cliche war for like the past like 10 missions or so, and then this is sort of like the stuff in the background that you don't see in a typical story like this. This is the stuff that went on in the background that normal like action World War II games and movies don't show you.
But
And I feel like that was, like, a
that's
nice
to me the part
twist.
though that ruined it. To me, the part that made me could not take it seriously is because the entire game was just a joke
Yeah.
from there on out.
That train section.
Yeah,
Oh,
But
God,
anyway,
don't
you
talk
can't
about that.
you can't have that train section and then say, oh, but these concentration camps, wars and
horrors.
atrocities.
Yeah, no,
war.
I agree with that. It was way too far on both extremes in certain times. That train section was absolutely fucking ridiculous.
I can't
thought was
remember.
watching, like, a
What are you
Mission
talking about?
Impossible movie.
The
Where you
train
drive the car
section?
down the side of the train, you fucking ram
And
your
the
car into
train
the train.
crashes
and the train
for
flips
like
over.
3
You
solid
flip
minutes.
over and everything flips over. And
There's a
explosions. Michael Bay.
that crashes for 3 solid minutes.
That's what it feels like.
that. Basically,
Yeah.
like you crash the car, the train starts going, it starts derailing. You're like, okay, but then it keeps going, and like one car,
Then it knocks
nearly-
over a tower, and
Yeah.
then one cart of the train flies forward and it misses you, and then another cart flies over you and misses you, but then this one sliding forward, but then there's a cart up top that falls down, and then it crashes, and then it's just like,
And the whole time it's doing this, it only has one explosion effect, where it's just like,
but yeah, I think that about wraps it up for the Bullshit Game Awards. Hope you guys all enjoyed. Vote for your favorite contestant in the comments below.
gonna be Ray Gun.
We've got the Ray Gun, the Underdog, the British Laddo, and Canadian Nice Boy.
Exactly.
Canadian
And
nice
who are you?
boy.
The acting male man?
The
Acting mailman.
The act mail.
Oh man, I'm glad
Yeah.
that's over. I'm gonna go get some Wiener Schnitzel.
Wait, we gotta have a conclusion here.
Okay, go ahead.
You still recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay, good.
I never stop recording. This is all in the podcast.
Good.
Let's go.
I'll edit it out. Fang.
You don't have to. I'm going to Wiener Schnitzel.
Why are you so aggressive, dude?
I don't know.
I've been like halfway through this podcast. I thought, damn, Wiener Schnitzel sounds really fucking good. And just like ever since then, I've just been like spacing out and looking at my car. in the driveway. Just like I'm about to go get some Wiener Schnitzel.
Well, you've been bullshitting pretty good, but thank you, Chris Raygun, for joining our humble podcast.
Oh, of course, man.
It was great having you on. Yeah.
I thought he was a superb guest.
Yeah.
Golf class.
geez. Guys,
we did
please.
throw you some bones, and
Yeah.
I think we're getting the hang of letting the guests talk.
You wouldn't
Slowly.
be spoke more than Game Cheat Award.
I watched the one with IHE, and I was like, is he gonna? What's the deal with? Is he gonna talk or?
We're just
He did a little bit.
I think
We're
the
aggressive.
problem is we're quite a talkative bunch.
Well, it's
Yeah,
funny
yeah.
because like
I know how to
IHE is the
handle it.
one. IHE is the one that kept throwing us the bones rather than the other way around.
Right.
Yeah, he also said at the end that because he listens to the podcast, he kind of forgot that he was actually in it instead of just listening to it like normal.
Yeah, I got a couple of those moments.
Yeah. But that's all we've got for today. Thank you for watching. Leave your viewer questions in the comments below. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Pip pip. Cheerio.
Okay, bye.